Hello everyone, I hope I'm recording this time. I tried to make a video earlier and where I was unmasking this tree and starting with the first layer of the tree with the sunlight going around both sides of it because it's setting to make it look like the tree's kind of glowing. And when I went to look for the video that I thought I had made, it wasn't there. So I hope I'm recording. Anyway, I did take a picture of it up to this point, but we're going to work on the darker layer on that with the oil pastels before using the colored pencils. These are oil-based cheap colored pencils, and I think I could have used my Prismacolor. Maybe I should next time. Anyway, here is the Mont Marte oil pastels that I bought, and I need my glasses. I had my cataract surgery, and seeing things in the distance is good, and I knew it would be. And I also knew that up close, because I got the standard, I would need to have reading glasses. Now I'm going to move this aside and move these to where if I need them I can use them. Those are some paper towels to clean my little nail brush. Yes, pokey thing on the end. I used the pokey thing on the purple one to remove the masking that I did, but the video went poofy bye. So there is a few reddies here, but I'm going for the browns. So I'm going to go ahead and cover most of this. And I'm going to go ahead and get this part out. And choose a darker brown. Right there. Okay. And move that to the side too, out of my way. And to see, the sun's going to be setting, so the sun is behind it. So the dark areas are going to be under this area. Probably right there too, but I'm going to very gently go underneath there. And I'll use the color pencils to define that area. So we're going to take the tree up in giving it some depth and shading, and coming down here giving it a little structure. Let's see where all this is shaded. This will go past here. That will stop at some point. So, and right here is the joint between those two. And it'll swerve this way because there's another tree branch coming. I'm going to move some of this and then come up here. And another little joint. And it'll stop right there. And that'll go there. So the sunlight is just going to be right before it goes down. And therefore, there's going to be a little bit of glow on things. And so, a little bit darker on that. And up here, this is a little bit thicker. I think I'm above. I made a mistake when I was putting the masking down. I put the masking tape around it on the board after I masked the tree. Big mistake. I should have masked the tree after I put the paper down for this. So that was my mistake. And some of my masking tape that holds it together has come loose. But not enough of it to make too much of a difference. So I'm getting this darker color in so I can blend it some. Right there is going to be a really dark area. And really this area here would be out of the sunlight too, because it's behind this other branch of the tree, or the other tree. There could be two trees. They might not be the same tree. And as it's coming down, the shade part, the sun doesn't hit it in some of these other areas. So we have that. I'm going to put that one back. And I'm going to go ahead and get my blending tool. Where is it? Right here. This one is my favorite. I don't know why. But I'm going to very carefully blend some of this before I come back in. It works like my finger. I don't want to get oil pastel on my finger. I have a lot of allergies, so we're not going to try that. Try to keep it off my fingers as much as possible. Right there's a little spot that needed to go. So I am going to get the brush with the mineral oil to blend it a little bit further. And I'm going to use my colored pencils to define some of the lines at the edge. That was messy, messy. Messy, messy, messy. I might have to come back with some black to get behind this tree branch here to make that dark area. I do need to get this lid off of here. So, and we don't have Natalie today. She's not feeling too good. She was sick. I might get some black to go underneath some of this area on the part of the tree that's below the level of the sunlight. Just getting this dark area, trying to make the tree look like it's glowing. I like how these Mont Marte oil pastels blend. I once tried to get some oil pastels that were cheaper than this, that were really cheaper from a Dollar Tree, and they were like crayons. And I don't want mine to be like crayons. I want them to be soft and be able to be blended better than crayons would. So, anyway. when I get this blended down, I'm going to come back in with the mineral oil to blend it further. It's not picking up. There we go. Got that one going. It was a yellow probably from the tree. From the tree. Okay, I need to clean this off some. Gonna dip it in there. Clean it off some more. And dip it in here. And I hope it's recording. Now, I'm going to get my brush. And bring it up to the edge. And get this a little smoother. And continue to get this and find the little spots where I think it needs a little help. I don't want it to be thick with the mineral oil in those areas. I didn't smooth all of these out with that tool. I guess I was a bit impatient. Okay. Now, I'm going to get the black for the bottom areas to get that area where even more shaded. Where I determined that it's just not going to have very much light. Put it back and get my brush again. I've got other brushes here, but this one is the one I like the best. Okay. Think I'm gonna clean this and maybe do the little bit more of the yellow that I used earlier. And I have to remember which one. Yes, it was that one. That one right there, I think. Or should I go with this other one? I'll go with this other one. And just get some of these just some little bitty highlight areas. Just a few. And then I'm coming in with colored pencils. I think I need to clean this off. Yep, it's got the darker color all on it. Okay, now, colored pencils. Start with a yellow. Out of my way. Now, that definitely had something behind it. See, this will sharpen these edges even without having the same color you need. It'll smooth and blend it really good. I'm going to let there be a little bit of bark showing. And where I went into this background color, it's just not going to not going to blend well with the pencil. Because I had too many layers there. But that's okay. This pencil will still do the trick. And get rid of the bumpy bumps. And sometimes it even draws on it. Right there, I was working on the masking tape. Oh, I think I'd like the pencils. They not necessarily right on top of some of this oil pastels unless you have a thin enough layer to etch it. But they sure will blend in other areas. And maybe even give a little bit of depth to it. Sharpen the edges. And they do help blend some of the pastels that's put down. And in this case, some of these areas it actually is laying down on it, giving the good look to it. I need to get the white pencil to do some extra work on some of this. Taking away too much of that black. You might need black there. Okay. Let's see. White. Some of these areas I might not have the color that the background is. Get clean off my pencil. It's starting to look finished. Some of this tree color's gotten where I didn't want it to go. Okay, trying to I need a blue for the sky areas there. See about getting into some of these areas here that needs it. Some of these areas that where the tree intersects those areas, it was kind of hard to do that in. Even, I had the masking and remove, but I didn't do a perfect job with the masking. Now let's see, I need a brown. Gotta find a brown. That's a red. That looks like a purple. I think that's brown. Okay. Instead of going in with yellow, I'm going in with a lighter brown in some of these areas. And some of these areas it's good to remove some of that. And you can tell if it's laying down or if it's just picking up. So sometimes you're picking up the oil pastel instead of laying down with a pencil. Anyway, I'm about to figure out how am I going to write my name on here when it's oil pastel. I might have to choose a color I haven't used. Okay, we need to go back to the oil pastels and maybe the brown ones was in this other one. Yep, that was it. But that was the wrong end. Now, I'm making a mess today. Okay. A blendy tool. I'll go with this one. Get those edges in there a little bit. Yeah. I'm gonna put this right here, even if it's not really a yellow. It's a fluorescent yellow. there was an area on there that didn't have blocking, and the green background overtook it. So get some of these going, blend it a little bit better. And this is mostly all in the shade. That would not be in the shade. I hope I'm not putting a hand on there where I shouldn't. I'm almost about to where I think I'm satisfied with the tree. I just got to look to see if there's any areas that I missed. There's one right here, down here. I do think I missed. It's where I brought the yellow back over top of that line, that tree limb that's coming across. Okay, I think I'm just need another little piece of the lighter brown. Oh, that's a red. Oh well, that's a red. But maybe I was using that red. Get my white pencil. Okay, got that back. Let's go with a, look for me a blue. A good darker blue. No, maybe. And my nose. It says yeep yeep. Yeep yeep. My nose says this room's getting cold today. But I say I'd rather it be cold. I don't do heat too good. If it's too hot, I don't do good. I don't do good with it being too hot. Oh, I found the masking tape. Okay, now, only one more little area that I want to try to fix. That's because the mountain on the very bottom, it kind of has the look of whoops. It kind of didn't come where it's supposed to. It had the whoops. Where was that at? Right there. And so get this one back out. Now that we're fixing that line. Oh, that's better. Okay. Now, next thing. Give me a black. Where is my black? Yep, first try. It's harder to see these when they're all in a little tube. Okay, above the daffodils. I think it's a good spot. But let's clean up some lines here. Okay, I'm happy with that, and now I'm going to call it finished. That means find a spot to sign it. So I got to rotate this. Okay, see if this will work. Okay, I'm going to get a photograph of this next after making sure this video went through. So, bye now. And if it didn't go through, I'm so sorry.